Hey, what's up everybody? Dustin here with Rocky Mountain ATV-MC, and today I'll be showing you how to clean the fuel injector on a dirt bike. Fuel injectors are the device that delivers or sprays the fuel in our air-fuel ratio, and just like carburetors, they can get gummed up and will eventually need to be cleaned out. Now at the tip of the fuel injector, there are several small holes that the fuel must pass through, and this is what creates the spray pattern. So this optimizes the atomization of the fuel in our air-fuel ratio so that the fuel can be efficiently combusted. Similar to a pilot jet in a carburetor, or any other jet for that matter, if they're not properly maintained, they can get clogged up, in turn creating problems with fuel delivery and or foul up the bike's performance. So today we're going to show you how to clean out your fuel injectors using the Motion Pro Fuel Injector Cleaner Kit. Now to do this job, you do want to have some rags, safety glasses, a 2mm Allen wrench, as well as some fuel injector cleaner. Now when it comes to choosing the right fuel injector cleaner for you, you want to be aware that there are some harsh chemicals out there that can cause damage to your O-rings, which would include swelling or just making them disintegrate. So for today, we're going to be using the PJ1 Pro Contact Cleaner. Now also keep in mind that Motion Pro makes several different pigtail adapters that will fit a variety of different styles of the fuel injectors. Now they will fit everything from Japanese motorcycles and ATVs to Polaris Razors and even Harley Davidsons. Now the first thing you're going to want to do to get started is pull the fuel injector from your machine. Now when it comes to removing the fuel injector from your machine, always be sure to reference your service manual for the proper procedures on how to do so. To set up the injector cleaner kit, you will first need to remove this black cover. To do that, we're going to use a 2mm Allen wrench and remove these 4 fasteners, then remove the black cover. Now once you've got the plate removed, we now need to connect the 9-volt battery. Place the battery inside of the tool, reattach the black cover, and reinstall the 4 fasteners. Now once you've got the battery installed, you'll want to flip it around so you can find the red button, press the red button, and make sure that the red light comes on. Before we insert the injector into the tool to clean it, we're going to clean it off with a rag and some contact cleaner, just to remove any dirt or debris. All right, so once we've got that clean, we can back out the outer screw of the 2 that are on the tool. We're going to pull this one out all the way. Then we're going to back out the center screw just enough so that we can fit the injector into either of the 2 ports and still get the retainer installed onto the injector. Now to begin, we're going to be installing the engine side, the side that's facing down into the throttle body, into port 2. Now in doing so, you want to make sure that the connector end on the injector is facing this flat side or facing to the outside corner of the tool. Then we can take the red retainer, place it onto the fuel injector itself, then re-thread in the bolt that we removed. Now if your engine side of your injector does not fit into port 2, but it does fit into port 1, you can switch it into port 1 and just fasten it down. Now when you're tightening down these screws, you do not want to apply any torque to it, as you run the risk of damaging the fuel injector, so just make sure that the fasteners are finger tight. So once the fuel injector is secured in the tool, we're going to take the pigtail adapter, we're going to plug it onto the fuel injector itself. Now remember, if the pigtail adapter that you have does not fit your fuel injector, you don't have to buy the entire kit, you just have to get a replacement pigtail that will fit your style of fuel injector. Then we can take the other end of the pigtail and we're going to plug it into the tool. Once we've got that connected, you'll want to hit the red button and listen for the injector to actuate. This will let us know that it's working and that our fuel injector is opening. Next, we're going to locate port 2's red knob right here. We're going to back it out slightly. Then we'll take the nozzle from our cleaner. We're going to insert it into the knob. Now there's an O-ring inside of there. Now you need to make sure that the red nozzle makes it past the O-ring. Then we're going to snug down this red knob, which will ensure for a tight seal. So now that we're all connected, we can hold down the red button and spray the contents of our cleaner through the injector. Now keep in mind that you will want to hold down the button for at least 3 seconds, and you will want to repeat this for about 2 to 3 times. Now as we pass the cleaner through the injector, it is going in the opposite direction of its normal flow, so you will not see a spray pattern out this other side. And then we can remove this end of the pigtails connector from the tool. We're going to disconnect the fuel injector's pigtail. Then we can swap it over into port 1. So we'll remove the outer fastener. We're going to loosen the center one just enough so that we can get the red retainer off of the fuel injector. Then we can remove the fuel injector. Now we're going to place the fuel side into port 1. Now again, if your fuel side does not fit into port 1, try port 2 and repeat the same process. Now before we install this into port 1, we're going to remove this sealing ring from the fuel side of our injector. This is so once we retain it into the tool with the red fuel injector retainer. We don't damage the fuel injector itself. Now when we insert it into the other port, the fuel side, we're going to give it just a quick test fit, see if it'll fit. It looks like this first O-ring that we encounter is kind of getting in the way. So we're going to remove this from our injector, test fit it again into port 1. It looks like we've got a good fit there. Now again, make sure to have the connector side of the injector facing towards the corner of the tool where we've got this recess so we have room to install the pigtail connector. Now we can bring the retainer up over the injector, place it onto it, and then thread in the bolt that we had just removed to the other side. And again, remember that when you're snugging down these bolts, do not apply too much torque to it, just snug them down with your fingers. Then we can reconnect the pigtail connector onto the injector's connector. Then we'll take the other end of the pigtail, plug it into the tool, operate the red button, make sure that you hear it click. Then we can locate port 1 that corresponds with the port that our fuel injector's in. Loosen up the red knob, install the nozzle from your cleaner, make sure that it makes it past the O-ring that's inside of there. Snug down the red knob to make sure that you have a good seal. Now again, we're going to hold down the red button for 3 seconds and spray the contents of our cleaner through the injector. Now in this direction, the cleaner is going to be traveling in the normal flow of fuel, so you want to be looking for the injector's spray pattern. You want to check to make sure that it's spraying a nice even pattern, it looks consistent. If there's anything about the pattern that just doesn't look right, you want to pull the injector out, flip it around, place the engine side into the correct port, and back flush the ejector again just to remove any deposits if there are any. So once we've got our cleaner flushed through the injector, we can loosen the port 1 red knob, pull out our nozzle of our can of cleaner. Then we can remove this side of the pigtail from the injector tool. Then we're going to pull out the pigtail from the injector itself. Then we can remove the fasteners and pull out our injector. Once you've got your injector removed, reinstall your O-rings that you have taken off earlier if you had to do so. Then you're ready to reinstall your injector back into your machine. Now, if you have any questions as to what we've done here today, feel free to leave us a comment below and we can get an answer back to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product spotlights, how-tos, and top 5s. And also see our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com. I'm Dustin with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching and keep the wrenches turning.